My boyfriend said he loved me, then used my trauma for his YouTube channel. My boyfriend told me he loved me for the first time on a Tuesday night while I was crying about something I'd never told anyone before. 3 weeks later, I found out he'd been recording the whole thing for a YouTube video called My Girlfriend's Dark Secret She Finally Opened Up. The video had 47,000 views. I am Maya, I am 23, and I genuinely thought I'd found someone who actually gave a damn about me. I work as a graphic designer, spend most of my time alone because I've always had trouble letting people in. And yeah, there is a reason for that. Ethan seemed different though. He was 25, trying to make it as a YouTuber, and when we met at this coffee shop 6 months ago, he didn't do any of the usual guy stuff. He didn't immediately hit on me or try too hard. He just asked if the seat next to me was taken, then started reading his book. We didn't even talk that first day. It was the second time I saw him there, same spot, same book, that he looked up and smiled. "You are here a lot," he said. "So are you," I replied. That was it. That is how it started. Over the next few weeks, coffee shop meetings turned into actual conversations. He told me about his YouTube channel, how he made videos about relationships and mental health, trying to build something real. I didn't watch any of his content back then. I probably should have. He asked me out properly after 3 weeks of coffee shop run-ins. Dinner at this Italian place that wasn't trying too hard to be fancy, but still felt special. Ethan was charming without being overwhelming. He asked questions and actually listened to the answers. He didn't push when I kept things surface level. "You don't have to tell me everything right away," he said that night, reaching across the table to touch my hand. "I am not going anywhere." That should have been my first red flag. Not because it was a lie, but because of how perfectly it was timed, how it felt like a line from a script. But I didn't see it then. I just felt seen. The first 3 months were honestly perfect. He texted good morning every day, remembered little things I mentioned, brought me tea when I was stressed about work deadlines. He never pushed about my past, never asked why I flinched when people talked about their moms, never questioned why I kept him at arm's length from anything deeper. But he was patient, so patient it felt like safety. Around month 4, things shifted. He started asking more questions. "Tell me about your family," he'd say during dinner. "What was your childhood like? You seem sad sometimes, and I just want to understand you better." It felt caring. It felt like he was trying to know the real me. I started opening up in small pieces. Told him my parents divorced when I was young. Told him I didn't talk to my mom anymore. He'd nod, hold my hand, say things like, "That must have been really hard," in this soft voice that made me feel like crying was okay. Then came that Tuesday, month 6. We were at his apartment watching something forgettable on Netflix, and he asked again about my mom, but this time he asked differently. "Maya, you know I love you, right?" he said, turning to face me completely. My heart stopped. He'd never said that before. "You can tell me anything," he continued. "I am not like other people. I won't judge you. I won't leave." Something in me just cracked. Maybe it was the "I love you." Maybe it was 6 months of feeling safe. Maybe I was just tired of carrying it alone. I told him everything. How my mom left when I was 8. How she didn't just leave my dad, she left me. How I found out years later through a cousin's Facebook post that she'd started a whole new family 2 states over. New husband, 2 new kids, a dog, a house with a white fence. Everything she didn't want with us, she built with them. I told him how I used to think it was my fault. How I still sometimes thought maybe if I'd been a better daughter, a quieter kid, a less difficult child, she would have stayed. I was crying through most of it. Ethan held me the entire time. His hand rubbed circles on my back. His voice kept saying, "I am here, I've got you, you are safe with me." When I finally stopped crying, he tilted my face up to look at him. "Thank you for trusting me with that," he whispered. "I love you, Maya, and I am never going to leave you like she did." I believed him completely. That night felt like the beginning of actual healing, like I'd finally found someone who could handle all of me, broken pieces included. The next 3 weeks were even better than before. Ethan was more attentive. He'd text throughout the day asking how I was feeling. He'd bring up my mom sometimes gently, asking if I wanted to talk more about it. Processing trauma is important, he'd say. "You should talk about it, let it out, that is how you heal." I thought he was being supportive. I thought this was what a healthy relationship looked like. I even told him more things. About the abandonment issues, about how I struggled to trust people, about the therapy I'd tried and quit because it felt pointless. He absorbed it all like he was genuinely trying to help me. Then Sophie sent me the link. Sophie's my coworker, kind of became a friend over the past year. She knows I am dating someone, but I'd kept it pretty private. Her text came through on a Thursday afternoon. "Hey, is your boyfriend Ethan Cross the YouTube guy?" I replied, "Yeah, why?" 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Then she sent the link with just, "I think you should watch this." The video title made my stomach drop before I even clicked it. My girlfriend's dark secret, she finally opened up. The thumbnail was Ethan's face, hands clasped together, eyes wide with fake concern. I was sitting at my desk at work. My hands were shaking so badly I almost couldn't click play. The video started with Ethan in his apartment sitting in his usual setup with the ring light and the bookshelf background. "Hey guys, Ethan here," he started, and his voice had that YouTube enthusiasm that felt obscene. Today I want to talk about something really important, vulnerability in relationships and what it means when your partner finally trusts you enough to share their deepest pain. My chest went tight. So my girlfriend, I am not going to say her name because I respect her privacy. He said that like it made it okay, like not using my name erased what he was about to do. She's been through something really traumatic, he continued. Her mom abandoned her when she was just a kid, like just left one day and started a whole new family somewhere else. I felt like I was going to throw up. He kept going, describing everything. How I blamed myself, how I still had trust issues, how I cried when I told him. He even mimicked things I'd said. She told me maybe if I'd been better, she would have stayed. And guys, my heart just broke for her. The way he said it, like he was performing my pain, like my worst moment was content for him. The video was 12 minutes long. I watched all of it. He talked about being there for someone with abandonment trauma, gave advice on how to make your partner feel safe enough to open up, explained his technique for building trust. He called it his technique. At the end, he got all serious and looked directly into the camera. If you are with someone who has been hurt like this, patience is key, guys. You have to show them you are not going anywhere, that you are different from everyone who hurt them before. The video had 47,000 views. The comments were worse. You are such a good boyfriend, she is lucky to have you. This is so helpful, my girlfriend has daddy issues and I never knew how to handle it. Bro, you are literally boyfriend goals. Some people were speculating about who I was. Is this the girl from his Instagram? Dark hair. I think I know who this is. She commented on his post last month. I closed my laptop. Saturday there in my cubicle at work, surrounded by people doing normal things, and tried to breathe. This wasn't real. This couldn't be real, but it was. He'd taken the most vulnerable moment of my life and turned it into content. I left work early, told my boss I was sick, which wasn't a lie because I genuinely felt like I might throw up. Drove to Ethan's apartment in this weird autopilot mode. My brain couldn't process what I'd just seen. Part of me kept thinking maybe I misunderstood. Maybe it wasn't about me, but I knew better. Every detail was too specific, too exact. I used my key to let myself in. Ethan was at his computer editing something, headphones on. He didn't hear me come in. I stood in the doorway of his bedroom watching him work for probably 30 seconds before he turned and saw me. "Hey babe," he said, pulling off his headphones with this big smile. "I didn't know you were coming over." "Why did you do it?" I asked. My voice came out flat, dead. His smile faltered. "Do what?" "The video, Ethan. The fucking video about my mom." I watched his face change. First confusion, then recognition, then this flash of something that looked like annoyance before he rearranged his expression into concern. "Maya, hold on, let me explain." "Explain what?" "Explain how you recorded me crying about my childhood trauma and put it on YouTube." My voice was getting louder. He stood up, hands out like he was approaching a scared animal. "I didn't record you, I would never do that," he said quickly. "I just talked about what you shared and I didn't even use your name. You described everything, Ethan. Everything. People are trying to figure out who I am in the comments." Okay, I get why you are upset," he said, and his tone shifted to that soft therapeutic voice he used when I was vulnerable. It made my skin crawl. "But Maya, I thought about this a lot before I posted it. This kind of content helps people. Guys watching don't know how to support their girlfriends through trauma. I was trying to be helpful." "Helpful," I repeated. "You exploited my pain for views and you are calling it helpful." "That is not fair," he said, and now there was an edge to his voice. "I put a lot of work into building this channel. This is my career, Maya. I talk about relationships and mental health. That is literally my content niche." "I am not your content. I am your girlfriend." He ran his hands through his hair, frustrated. "You are being really dramatic right now." Something snapped in me. "Dramatic, you recorded me. Or no, wait, sorry, you memorized everything I said in my most vulnerable moment so you could repeat it to 47,000 strangers, but I'm being dramatic. I didn't record you, Jesus Christ, Maya. I just remembered the conversation because it was important," he shot back. "We talked 3 weeks ago, Ethan. You remembered exact phrases I said 3 weeks ago." His jaw tightened. "I have a good memory." "Or you planned this," I said quietly. The words came out before I fully realized what I was saying. But once they were out there, everything clicked into place. The patience, the gentle questions, the way he'd pushed for more details about my mom in the weeks after I first told him. "You've been setting this up," I continued. "The whole time, every question about my childhood, every time you asked me to talk about my feelings, you were gathering material." "That is insane," he said, but he wouldn't meet my eyes. "When you told me you loved me that night, was that part of it too? Did you say it then because you knew it would make me break down and tell you everything?" "Maya, stop. Was it?" He was quiet for a long moment. Then he sighed, and when he spoke, his voice had changed completely. The softness was gone. "Look, you are making this into something it is not," he said, cold now. "I do care about you, okay, but I also have a channel to run. And yeah, sometimes those things overlap. That is just how it is when you are with someone who creates content about relationships. You used me. I shared our experience," he corrected. "And honestly, you should be grateful. That video is performing really well. It is going to help my channel grow, which helps us. I stared at him. This person I thought I knew, thought I loved, thought was safe. There is no us anymore, I said. He rolled his eyes. You are overreacting. You are going to calm down in a few days and realize I didn't do anything wrong. Take the video down. No, Ethan, take it down. It has 47,000 views, Maya. Do you know how long it took me to get a video to perform like that? I am not deleting it because you are having a tantrum. I felt something die inside me. Not just my feelings for him, but something deeper. Some last bit of faith I had that people could be trusted. We're done, I said. Fine, leave then, he said, turning back to his computer. But you are going to regret this when you calm down and realize how good you had it. I left. Didn't slam the door, didn't yell, just walked out. Saturday in my car for 20 minutes crying before I could drive. When I got home, I did what I should have done months ago. I looked up Ethan's channel properly, scrolled through his videos. When your girlfriend has trust issues, how I fixed it. My girlfriend's anxiety explained what I learned, supporting someone with depression, my experience. Every single video was about his girlfriend, about me, our entire relationship cataloged for content. I clicked on an older video from 8 months ago before we met. Why my ex and I broke up, she couldn't handle my honesty. In the comments, someone had written, "Your ex dodged a bullet. You are clearly a narcissist." The username was Amber. I clicked on her profile. Her comment history was full of replies to Ethan's videos. You did this to me too. Stop lying to your audience. You are a manipulative piece of shit. She'd been trying to warn people. I found her Instagram through her YouTube profile, Amber Rodriguez, 24, living in the same city. I messaged her before I could second guess it. Hi, I know this is random, but I am Ethan Cross's girlfriend. Well, ex-girlfriend as of today. I saw your comments on his videos and I think we need to talk. She responded in less than 10 minutes. Oh my god, yes, are you free tomorrow? Coffee. We met the next day at a cafe across town. Amber was pretty blonde, with this guarded expression I recognized immediately. We sat down with our drinks and she just looked at me for a second. He made a video about you, didn't he? She asked. About my mom abandoning me, I confirmed. She nodded slowly. He made 3 about me, one about my eating disorder, one about my dad's alcoholism, and one about my panic attacks. My stomach dropped. All without telling you. Oh, he told me, she said bitterly. After the first one was already up, he said he thought I knew, that it was obvious he was going to make content about our relationship, since that is his whole channel. That is exactly what he said to me, I whispered. When you are with someone who creates content. Yeah, Amber said. That is his line. He acts like it is normal, like you're crazy for being upset about it. How long were you together? 8 months, she said, and I was so in love with him, Maya. He was perfect at first, patient and caring, and he made me feel like I could trust him with anything. It was like listening to my own thoughts. Then he started asking questions about my past, about my family, about my mental health, and I thought he was just trying to understand me, she continued. But he was building a file on me. I swear to God, every vulnerable thing I ever told him ended up in a video. Did he ever actually record you? One, Amber said quietly. I was having a panic attack and I didn't know his phone was propped up on the bookshelf. He caught the whole thing on video and used the audio in one of his videos. That is illegal, I said. I threatened to sue. He took that one down, but the others are still up. He claims they don't violate anything because he doesn't use my name. We sat there for a moment. There is more of us, aren't there? I asked. Amber nodded. I've talked to one other ex-girl named Casey. She dated him like 2 years ago. Same pattern. He got her to open up about her childhood abuse and made it into his breakthrough video that got him monetized. He is a predator. Yeah, Amber agreed. A predator with a camera and 40,000 subscribers. Something hardened in me. We should expose him. Amber looked at me. I've tried, I've left comments. I've told people no one believes me. They think I am a crazy ex. What if we did it together, I asked. What if we made our own video, showed the pattern, proved this isn't just one bitter ex, but multiple women with the same experience? She was quiet, thinking, I'd have to show my face, admit what he did to me publicly. Me too, I said. But Maya, taking back our stories, that might be worth it. She smiled for the first time. Okay, she said. Let's burn his channel to the ground. We spent the next week planning. Amber reached out to Casey, and Casey was immediately on board. The 3 of us met at my apartment with laptops and notes and screenshots of everything. Casey was 26, quiet, with dark circles under her eyes that told their own story. He got me to talk about my stepdad, she said flatly. Made a whole video called How Childhood Abuse Affects Adult Relationships, and basically told my entire story. Did you confront him? I asked. Yeah, he told me I was being selfish, that sharing my story could help other abuse survivors, like he was doing me a favor. Amber laughed bitter. They all use the same manipulation tactics, because it works, I said. He finds women with trauma, makes them feel safe, extracts their pain, and monetizes it. Then discards us when we realize what he is doing, Casey added. We decided on a simple approach. One video, the three of us sitting together calmly explaining the pattern. No yelling, no crying, just facts. I set up my camera, the one I used for work presentations. We did it in one take. I started, "Hi, my name is Maya, and 6 months ago I started dating a YouTuber named Ethan Cross." My voice was steady. 3 weeks ago, he posted a video about my childhood trauma without my consent. He used details from our private conversations to create content, and when I confronted him, he told me I was overreacting. Amber went next. "I am Amber. I dated Ethan for 8 months. He made 3 videos about my personal struggles with mental health, one of which included audio he recorded of me having a panic attack without my knowledge." Then Casey. "I am Casey. I dated Ethan 2 years ago. He built a relationship with me specifically to get me to open up a childhood abuse, then used my story to monetize his channel. We showed screenshots. Messages from Ethan asking leading questions. Timestamps showing when we told him things and when the videos were posted. Comments from his videos where people speculated about our identities. This isn't about revenge," I said to the camera. "This is about showing a pattern. Ethan Cross specifically targets women with trauma, builds false trust, extracts their stories, and monetizes their pain without consent. If you are dating him now, or if you are considering dating him, you deserve to know what you are getting into," Amber added. "And if you are a content creator who does this to people in your life, you need to understand that humans are not content," Casey finished. We titled it Ethan Cross, A Pattern of Exploitation. I created a new YouTube channel just for this, posted the video, tagged Ethan's channel, then we waited. The first hour, nothing happened. 20 views, probably us refreshing. Then someone shared it in the comments of Ethan's most recent video. Then someone else shared it on Twitter. By hour 3, we had 5,000 views. By the next morning, 50,000. The comments were overwhelming. "I knew something was off about him. Thank you for speaking up. This is horrifying." Other women started coming forward. "He did this to me too. I dated him for 3 months and he kept pushing me to talk about my depression. He asked me about my family trauma on our second date." The video hit 100,000 views. Ethan posted a response. "It was exactly what I expected." He sat in his usual spot looking sad and betrayed. "I never wanted to have to make this video," he started, "but I've been getting a lot of messages about something my ex-girlfriends posted, and I feel like I need to address it." He denied everything. Said we were bitter, that we'd all agreed to let him share our stories, that we were trying to ruin his career because we couldn't handle the breakups. Maya specifically told me she thought it was beautiful that I wanted to help others, he claimed. I'd never said that. Amber knew I was recording her during that panic attack. She literally watched me set up my phone. Amber had sent me screenshots of texts where she'd asked him why he recorded her, and he denied even having a video. He lied about everything, but this time people weren't buying it. The comments on his video were brutal. "You are clearly lying. The fact that 3 women have the same story says everything. Unsubscribing, this is gross." His sponsors started dropping him. BetterHelp pulled their partnership. A mental health app he'd been promoting sent out a statement saying they don't condone his behavior. His subscriber count started dropping, not massively, but steadily. 40,000, 39,000, 38,000. He posted another video. This one was angrier. "You know what? I am done apologizing for making content," he said. "If you are with me, you know I make videos about relationships. That is not a secret. And if you can't handle that, then don't date a content creator." It was the worst thing he could have said, because it proved exactly what we'd been saying, that he saw people as content first, humans second. More sponsors left. His comment sections became unusable. He eventually turned comments off entirely, but the damage was done. I didn't feel victorious though. I just felt tired. Watching his channel implode didn't heal what he'd done. It didn't erase the betrayal or give me back my privacy. What actually helped was something else. About a week after our video went viral, I got a message from a girl named Jessica. "I started dating Ethan 3 weeks ago," she wrote. "He has been asking a lot about my past and I thought it was sweet, but then I saw your video and realized he is doing the same thing to me that he did to you. I broke up with him today. Thank you for posting this. You probably saved me from becoming the next video." I showed Amber and Casey. "That is what this was for," Amber said quietly. "Not revenge, protection." We got more messages like that. Women who'd been considering dating him or who'd just started, who backed out after seeing what he really was. That felt like something, like maybe our pain could actually prevent someone else's. I started seeing a therapist again, not because of Ethan, but because I realized I'd let my trauma make me vulnerable to someone like him. My fear of abandonment had made me cling to the first person who promised to stay, and he'd weaponized that. "You are not responsible for what he did," my therapist said, "but you can choose how you move forward." I decided to keep the channel we'd made. Started posting videos about digital consent, about recognizing manipulation in relationships, about how to protect your story. Not huge videos, just me talking to the camera, but people watched them. People commented, saying they'd experienced similar things. I became friends with Amber and Casey. Real friends, not just trauma bonded. We'd get dinner, talk about work and dating and normal things. Sometimes we'd talk about Ethan, but mostly we didn't need to. 6 months later, I was doing okay. Not perfect, but okay. I'd gone on a few dates, kept things casual, wasn't ready for anything serious. And that was fine. I'd learned that being alone was better than being with someone who saw me as material. Ethan's channel still existed. He'd rebranded, stopped making relationship content, tried to pivot to general self-help. But his views were way down. Most videos got a few thousand views instead of tens of thousands. The comments were always full of people asking about the exploitation allegations. He disabled comments again last I checked. I got a message from another of his exes, girl named Melissa who dated him 5 years ago. I just wanted to say thank you, she wrote. I thought I was crazy. I thought I was the only one who felt violated by what he did. Seeing your video made me realize it wasn't just me, and that helped more than you know. I was sitting in my apartment when I read that. Same apartment, same couch, same life. But I wasn't the same. I sat there staring at Melissa's message for a long time. 5 years. He'd been doing this for at least 5 years. How many others were there that we didn't know about? I messaged her back. Do you want to talk coffee sometime? She said yes immediately. We met that weekend, same cafe where I'd met Amber. Melissa was 29, worked in marketing, had this weary look that I'd seen in mirrors for months. He was my first serious boyfriend, she told me. I was 24, just out of college, and he seemed so mature and emotionally intelligent. What did he use? I asked. She knew exactly what I meant. My brother's suicide, she said quietly. I told him about it 4 months into dating. He made a video called Supporting Your Partner Through Grief and described everything. How my brother did it, how I found out, what I said to Ethan when I was crying. My chest tightened. I am so sorry. The worst part was people in the comments were guessing it was me, she continued. Someone found my Instagram because I'd commented on one of his posts. They put together that I had a brother who died, and suddenly I had strangers messaging me condolences for something I'd never publicly shared. Did you confront him? Yeah, he said I was being selfish, that my brother's story could prevent other suicides, that I should be grateful he was using his platform to spread awareness. The same script. Always the same manipulation. Why didn't you go public? I asked gently. I was ashamed, Melissa admitted. I thought maybe he was right, maybe I was being selfish, and I didn't want people to think I was trying to ruin his career over nothing. It wasn't nothing. I know that now, she said. Seeing you three speak up made me realize the shame wasn't mine to carry. We talked for 2 hours. By the end, I had a decision to make. I could let things be, accept that Ethan's career was damaged, and move on, or I could keep going. That night, I made another video, just me, talking to the camera. A few months ago, I exposed my ex-boyfriend for exploiting my trauma for YouTube content I started. Since then, I've heard from multiple other women with identical experiences, and I've realized this pattern goes back at least 5 years. I didn't share Melissa's specific story, she wasn't ready for that. But I talked about the pattern more broadly. This wasn't a mistake or a lapse in judgment, I said. This was a deliberate strategy. He sought out women with trauma because pain performs well. He built trust specifically to extract stories, and he did it over and over and over again. I looked directly into the camera. If you are someone who creates content about your personal life, that is fine. That is your choice. But the people in your life are not characters in your story. They're real humans with a right to privacy. And using their pain without genuine consent isn't content creation. It is exploitation. The video got shared by some larger commentary channels. People who covered YouTube drama picked it up. Ethan's name started trending on Twitter, not in a good way. He posted one more response. This time he was crying. Actual tears, red eyes, the whole performance. I've made mistakes, he said. I've hurt people I cared about, and I am sorry. I am in therapy now. I am working on myself, and I am asking for forgiveness. But even in his apology, he made it about himself. This has been really hard on me, he said. I've lost everything, my sponsors, my reputation, my mental health has suffered. He never once said our names, never acknowledged what he'd actually done beyond vague mistakes. Never took the videos down. The comments on his apology were savage. You are still making it about you. This is manipulation, not accountability. Notice he is still not taking down the videos because he still wants the revenue. That last comment hit something in me. He was still making money off our pain. Every view on those videos, every ad that played, he was getting paid. I looked into copyright claims, talked to a lawyer Amber recommended. Turns out there wasn't much legal recourse. He didn't use your names, didn't use your images, and he could argue the content is his own experience, not yours, the lawyer explained, even though he is describing my life. Unfortunately, yes, it is a gray area in content law, so the videos stayed up, but something else happened. YouTube creators started talking about digital consent. Bigger channels made videos about the ethics of using real people in content. Some implemented policies where they'd blur faces and change details. Others started having explicit conversations with people in their lives about what was okay to share. It wasn't a perfect solution, but it was something. I started dating again around month 8, met a guy named David through a friend. He was a high school teacher, no social media presence beyond a rarely used Instagram. On our third date, I told him about Ethan. Not the trauma itself, but what Ethan had done with it. David listened, then was quiet for a moment. "That is horrifying," he said finally. "I am not going to ask about the actual trauma unless you want to share it. And if you do share anything with me, it stays between us. That is not a promise. That is just basic human decency." I almost cried, not because it was romantic, but because it was normal. Basic respect shouldn't have felt revolutionary, but after Ethan, it did. David and I took things slow. I told him about my mom eventually months later when I was ready. He never asked follow-up questions unless I offered. Never treated my pain like a story that needed more details. Just held my hand and said, "Thank you for trusting me with that." And then we watched a movie and ate takeout and had a completely normal evening. That is when I realized I was actually healing. Not because I'd gotten revenge on Ethan or because his channel had died, but because I'd learned what healthy looked like. A year after everything happened, I made one final video. "This will probably be my last video about this situation," I said. "I've said what I needed to say, and now I want to move forward." I talked about what I'd learned, about recognizing manipulation, about the difference between someone who wants to know you and someone who wants to know your story. If someone is more interested in your trauma than your interests, that is a red flag, I said. If someone keeps pushing you to share things before you are ready, that is a red flag. If someone treats your vulnerability like it is content for their life instead of a gift you are giving them, that is a red flag. I paused, looking at the camera. But here is what I want people to really understand. Your story is yours. You get to decide who hears it, when they hear it, and how it is shared. Anyone who takes that choice away from you, whether it is through a camera or just through gossip, is violating something fundamental. And if someone has violated your story, that shame isn't yours to carry, it is theirs. I ended the video with a small smile. I am okay now. It took time, but I am okay. And if you are going through something similar, you will be too. I posted it and closed my laptop. The channel stayed up, but I stopped checking it obsessively. Stopped reading every comment. Stopped tracking Ethan's subscriber count. I had better things to do. Like my job, which I'd gotten a promotion in. Like my relationship with David, which was steady and safe and beautifully boring. Like dinners with Amber and Casey and Melissa, who'd all become genuine friends. Like therapy, where I was working through the original abandonment instead of just the Ethan stuff. My mom had tried to reach out about 6 months after everything. Sent a Facebook message saying she'd heard I was going through something and wanted to check in. I didn't respond, not out of spite, but because I realized I didn't need her response. The abandonment had shaped me. Yeah, but it didn't define me. And her sudden interest after 20 plus years wasn't about me, it was about her guilt. I didn't owe her my healing process, just like I hadn't owed Ethan my trauma. About 14 months after the breakup, I was scrolling Instagram when I saw that Ethan had posted his first post in months. It was a photo of him with a new girlfriend. Young, maybe 21, smiling at the camera while he kissed her cheek. The caption said, "New beginnings with this amazing woman who sees the real me." My stomach dropped. I screenshotted it and sent it to the group chat with Amber, Casey, and Melissa. Amber responded first. Should we warn her? We'd had this conversation before, the ethics of reaching out to his new partners. Casey had tried once, messaged a girl she saw him with. The girl had told her to fuck off, said she was a jealous ex trying to ruin his happiness. Our video is public, I typed. If she wants to know, she can find it. We can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. It felt harsh typing it, but it was true. We'd done what we could. Put the information out there, made the pattern visible. The rest was up to the people who chose to be with him. Still, I felt sick thinking about it. Some new girl, probably thinking she'd found someone special, not knowing she was being assessed for content potential. I almost messaged her, typed out a DM 3 different times, but each time, I deleted it. Because Melissa was right. We'd done our part. We couldn't carry the weight of every woman who didn't listen. 2 weeks later, the girl posted a photo of her and Ethan at dinner. Caption, "He asked the best questions. I've never felt so seen." I closed Instagram and didn't open it again for a week. Some lessons people have to learn themselves, even the painful ones, especially the painful ones. I focused on my own life instead. David had asked me to move in with him. It felt too fast, but also not. We'd been together almost 6 months, took our time, built something real. "I need you to know something first," I told him. We were sitting on his couch, my hand in his. "I am probably going to be weird about privacy stuff sometimes. I might ask you not to post photos of us, or get uncomfortable if you share things about me. And it is not because I don't trust you, it is just trauma." "Okay," he said simply. "That is it, just okay." He smiled. "Maya, I barely post anyway, and your boundaries aren't an inconvenience, they're just information about how to love you better." I moved in 3 weeks later. It was good. Quiet, normal, safe. The kind of relationship that wouldn't make interesting content, and that was exactly what I needed. Sometimes I'd still get messages from people who'd seen the Ethan videos, thanking me or sharing their own stories of exploitation. I'd respond when I had the energy. But I wasn't a full-time activist about it. I'd said my piece, done what I could. The rest of my life was mine to live, not document. About 18 months after everything, Ethan's channel stopped posting entirely. His last video was some generic thing about taking a break to focus on mental health. He never came back. I heard through Melissa, who still hate-watched occasionally, that he'd gotten a regular job, something in sales. His Instagram went private, the girlfriend from the photo was gone. I wondered sometimes what happened there, if she'd figured it out or if he'd just moved on to someone else. But mostly I didn't think about him. He'd taken up enough space in my head. 2 years after the breakup, I was completely different, not healed in some perfect fairy tale way, but functional, happy more days than not, capable of trust again. David and I were solid. I'd made peace with my mom's stuff, not by reconciling, but by accepting that some relationships just end, and that is okay. My work was good, my friendships were healthy, my life was mine. I logged into the YouTube channel one last time. The videos we'd made had over 500,000 views combined. The comments were full of people sharing similar stories, supporting each other, learning to recognize manipulation. I posted one final community update. Thank you all for the support over these past 2 years. I am moving on now, living my life privately, but I hope these videos continue to help people recognize exploitation when they see it. Your story is yours, protect it. Then I logged out, deleted the app from my phone, let it exist in the past where it belonged. I was sitting on the balcony of the apartment David, and I shared when my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. Hi Maya, you don't know me, but I just wanted to say thank you. I started dating Ethan Cross last year, and when things got weird, I googled him and found your video. I broke up with him immediately. Your story literally saved me from becoming another one of his victims. I hope you are doing well. I stared at the message for a long time, then typed back. I am glad you got out. I am doing really well now. I hope you are too. That is what made it worth it. Not revenge, not his channel dying, not even the validation from thousands of strangers, but knowing that my worst experience had prevented someone else's. That the story he'd stolen, I'd taken back and used to protect other people. That was power, real power, not the fake kind he'd built on exploitation. David came out onto the balcony with 2 mugs of tea. You okay? He asked, handing me one. Yeah, I said and meant it. I am really okay. He sat down next to me and we watched the sunset without saying anything. No phones, no cameras, no documentation, just 2 people existing together. And that was enough, more than enough. It was everything.